His favorite coffee chain, Tim Hortons, is under investigation for the way its app collects location data from customers. That's right, media reports raising concerns, saying the app is tracking users' day-to-day movements. The Office of the Privacy Commissioner of Canada and provincial agencies in Quebec and British Columbia and Alberta are now examining whether this is allowed under Canadian privacy laws and whether users have provided, quote, meaningful consent or not, as the case might be. Let's bring in cybersecurity and tech expert Ritesh Kotak with his take on this. Your read on it, Ritesh.
So my read on it is it's one thing to collect somebody's data. So, hey, I know where the closest coffee chain is. It's another thing what essentially this app has been doing, which is collecting location in the background and then storing it for what we know is apparently over 12 months. And you could think about it, like imagine all the time, all the location, all the dates, all that information aggregated into a single source and how intrusive that could be for an individual. So you think you're just getting a coffee, but on the other hand, you're really giving up your privacy here.
And so break it down for us, if you can, for viewers, what exactly is going on here with this app that, you know, as far as we suspect here, or the allegations anyway.
So what we suspect is that the app, whenever in the background, is always collecting your location. So every couple minutes, it will essentially download your GPS coordinates, which is your latitude and longitude, and in some cases also potentially the altitude, and take that information and then store it. Now, the reason that this becomes extremely troublesome is it's not only when you're using the app, it's also when you're not using the app. So that's one element of it. The second element of it is it probably collects other data, or Tim Hortons purchases other data, such as, let's just say, weather information. So when you start aggregating this data, you can imagine when it's, when it's hot, I'm buying an ice cap. When it's cold, I'm buying a hot chocolate. And it starts to create these very intrusive and detailed profiles on individuals. It knows when you're home, it knows when you're working, it knows when you're out, it knows when you're traveling, and it takes all that information, aggregates it. And the question is are users actually consenting to this, and do they know what they're giving up?
Yeah, and when we talk about the Privacy Commissioner nationally, as well as in BC and Quebec and Alberta and maybe others to join in now looking into this here, and they talk, Ritesh, about what's called meaningful consent. What does that mean exactly?
So meaningful consent is when I essentially consent to the app, so I hit I agree to the terms and conditions, do I actually know what I'm agreeing to? So I would assume that a reasonable person would think that if you're allowing location for the Tim Hortons app, it is to locate the closest Tim Hortons. It's not that it will work in the background to continuously collect intrusive data about yourself. And also, are they being upfront and clear in their communication to customers, saying, this is what we're collecting, this is why we're collecting, this is how long we're going to keep it for, and this is how you opt out of it? And the concern here is that they're not.
And for people who are now going to be upset about this or concerned or worried, what's the best case scenario for them? Delete the app?
Again, that's always an option. But what you can also do is you can go into the app and you can turn off location. There's different mechanisms. Again, deleting the app is an option. But I think what this brings up is a bigger issue, and that is apps themselves and the regulators and the device makers. Make sure that whatever you do on the online social cyber digital world, especially if you're going to put out an app, that you're clear about what it's collecting, you communicate that to your users. And also as a device maker, you don't make it so simple that apps can arbitrarily go in and just collect data on users. Be transparent, be clear, because privacy matters and it's really important.
Why does it seem like this kind of thing keeps happening, Ritesh, with different companies?
Because it's simple. It's data is the new oil. Data is it's extremely valuable, and it is really simple to put out an app, and it's really simple for users to download it and just hit I agree without really thinking about what they're giving up. In one end, you think that you might be getting something in return, such as a promotion, but do you really question the fact that, okay, I'm giving up all this additional data about myself? Because it's that easy, where you literally go into an app store, these apps are free. You might be incentivized to download them for a free coffee or a free Timbit, and you go ahead and you download it, but you don't really think about the repercussions and the after effects that it's going to have. It's really simple. And this is one of the big concerns about privacy in this digital world.
Yeah, well said. Ritesh Kotak joining us with his take on this Tim Hortons story. Thank you, Ritesh. Good to see you again.